Same thing gonna happen with Spence. They're gonna figure out some type of excuse why Terence Crawford was successful in the Canelo Alvarez fight.
I'm different. I'm a elite fighter. So that's the difference. Big difference.
But after fighters fight me, they never the same. So I just hope your career continue.
If you look at my career, never the same after me.
Terence Crawford delivered a chilling warning to Canelo Alvarez, vowing to dismantle the Mexican superstar with the same ruthlessness he showed against Errol Spence Jr. Backing his words, Crawford shared his view on how Canelo is approaching their possible showdown, stressing that Alvarez knows better than to underestimate him. He noted that the narrative often favors Canelo simply because of his extensive resume and long reign at the top. In Crawford's eyes, Canelo believes his experience makes him immune to any surprises inside the ring.
I don't know. I just think, sometimes some fighters, they fight to their level of competition. And, I think he's definitely more experienced, with more well-rounded, given the experience that he had in the Floyd Mayweather fight. So we shall see. Yeah. No, he just seen a lot of fighters. He's been through the boxing game for a long time. He got a lot of experience, and in his heart and soul, he feel that I'm not gonna show him nothing new that he haven't seen before. No, not at all. Like he didn't fought southpaws, he didn't fought orthodox fighters. So he's been in the ring with a lot of fighters, and in his mind, he don't see nothing new that I can bring to the...
Expanding on his mindset, Terence Crawford said this fight will be monumental, portraying it as two legends clashing to determine who's truly the best. He expressed confidence that he'll deliver something special on September 13th, emphasizing that while many highlight his power, it's his skill and ring IQ that will shine brightest under the spotlight.
Legend too. So, we got two legends fighting each other, and I'm definitely, daring to be great. And I'm going to be great September 13th. I'm not taking no credit away from Canelo's skills. A lot of people, they only talk about his power, but he's very skillful in there, and, he's respected.
Firing back, Canelo didn't hold back in his response to Crawford, warning that he hopes Turkey is paying him well, because after the final bell, Crawford won't walk away the same. For Canelo, the message is clear: this isn't just another payday, it's an opportunity to leave a permanent mark on Crawford's career.
We're not find out. And don't get me wrong, you're a great fighter.
I know I'm great.
You're a great fighter, but are you gonna find out? I hope your uncle Turki Alashi pay you enough money, because it's gonna be the last. That's for sure.
It may be.
I hope he pay you enough.
But after fighters fight me, they never the same. So I just hope your career continue.
If you look at my career, never the same after me.
However, Crawford made it clear he isn't bothered by the noise. He pointed out that if he defeats Canelo, fans and critics will likely react the same way they did after the Errol Spence fight, searching for excuses instead of giving him full credit. To Crawford, that's just part of the game, but he's ready to silence the doubts once again when the moment arrives.
They're going to make excuses. The same thing happened with Spence.
Same thing gonna happen with Spence. They're gonna figure out some type of excuse why Terence Crawford was successful in the Canelo Alvarez fight.
You gonna retire after if you win this fight, or you're gonna keep going?
I don't know. We shall see.
It is what it is. I got the style, I got the skills, I got the heart, and I'm not gonna sit around and...
Tensions escalated at the face-off when Canelo forcefully shoved Crawford, igniting a heated moment that nearly erupted into a full-blown brawl. Security rushed in to separate them before things spiraled out of control, adding even more intensity to an already explosive showdown set to unfold inside the ropes. Soon after, Canelo's fans erupted with chants of "Mexico," rallying behind their champion and fueling the atmosphere even further. Reflecting on the shove, Canelo Alvarez later admitted it only fueled him further for what lies ahead. He made it clear he's ready, fully locked in for the 13th, and eager to settle everything inside the ring in a clash that promises fireworks from the opening bell.
I'm turning on right now.
Right? Yeah. Did it make you want to go harder for the 13th?
I don't know, but made me feel more excited.
I love it.
I'm gonna train so far. You know, I've been in this sport like so many years. I had so many good fights in my career, and I had the experience to adapt myself to these kind of fighters. I fight everybody out there, every style, and I'm gonna do my job and put all my experience, all my talent there, and that's it. You know, I'm different. I'm a elite fighter, so that's the difference. Big difference.
Meanwhile, boxing analyst Sean Ziddle weighed in on the fiery face-off, suggesting the shove seemed somewhat staged. He noted that moments like these often serve exactly what promoters, event managers, and fans are after, an added dose of drama to boost the hype and intensify an already massive matchup.
That's not, there's 30 security guards.
It feels a little contrived.
You think so?
I think a lot of people feel it's a little like.
Well, I'm glad you used the big word that most of us don't know.
Sir, New York, that's a weak ass push by Canelo. And, you know, that is not Canelo. What he did with Caleb Plant, that was real. You know, he slipped him and then slapped him. And that was like, okay. This felt like, hey, social media saying you guys are being too friendly. We're paying you all this money. We're putting a knockout bonus there. Come on, we got a fight to sell. Let's heat this up a little bit. Obviously, they're both great fighters, and they're both coming to win. And you know, but you know, I don't want to get too deep into it today, but you know my thoughts on this, the big picture, like what's looming, the fight to me, because I'm the journalist, right? Is an afterthought.
Adding to that perspective, the Wade Concept shared his take on the shove, noting that the intensity felt different this time because of how quickly everyone on stage rushed to break it up. He compared the scene to a game of tennis, with Crawford and Canelo taking turns stepping up, sizing each other up, and raising the stakes with each encounter, all building toward a fiery collision once the bell rings.
Watch Terence. Terence is not stopping here. He's walking straight up to him, way past Dana. Here's halfway. He's like, nah, I'm meeting you at your front door. And he's backing him up. Oh, and then there's the shove. Look at Bomac. Look at Bomac. Oh, shit, we got everybody getting in there. Reynoso, security, Michael Buffer. It's a game of tennis. It's a game of back and forth, because this time Canelo walks up on Terence. Like, yeah, okay, you got that one off. Watch this. Now, I'm going to push you back a little bit. Yeah, see, I'm going to push you back just a little.
Looking back at Crawford's past battles, Sean Porter reflected on Bud's fight with Errol Spence, recalling how he overheard talk from Crawford's corner that their fighter wasn't even following a game plan. Porter later found out Crawford himself confirmed it. He was so fired up that night he completely abandoned the original strategy. For Porter, it proved just how dangerous Crawford can be when relying purely on instinct and raw drive.
On my way out of the room, I was talking to his cousin, a couple other people, and I think it might have been Shakur, but somebody said, yo, he didn't even have a game plan. I said, what? He said he didn't have a game plan. He was asking us what he should do before the fight.
Shakur specifically, right?
So I think it was Shakur that said that. So then I talked to Crawford after the fight, and I know I talked to him on the podcast about this specifically, but then I talked to him afterwards, and I said, stop saying you didn't have a game plan. You had a game plan. He said, look, Sean, we had a game plan, but in the locker room before the fight, I just was fired up. And he said he had, even walking out to the ring, he had it like, you know, just so much energy, passion, dog. He wanted to go right after Errol, you know? So using that story again to relate to everyone, you're right. That dog is gonna be there, and he understands that he has to be smart.
Echoing support for Crawford, English pro boxer Denzel Bentley admitted he initially doubted the matchup, believing Crawford had no business moving up to face Canelo. But as the fight approaches, his confidence in Crawford has grown. Now, Bentley feels Crawford has what it takes to pull off the upset, noting that fans haven't seen Canelo at his absolute best in years, a factor that makes this clash even more compelling.
Oh man, at first I didn't like it. I was like, come on, don't do it, don't go up there, don't do it. But I just got closer. I'm believing in Crawford, man. I mean, I think he can pull it off. We haven't really seen the best of Canelo in years. I think his best days were at 160. When I think of it, that Danny Jacobs fight, that's probably the best performance I've seen Canelo in all these fights. I know he's had so many fights, probably had better performance, but in recent times, just the lateral movement, the elusiveness, the way he lets his shots go, the just effortless kind of movement and flowing of punches. Hasn't been that since then, since he moved to 168.
Pushing his point further, Bentley didn't mince words in assessing Canelo's current form, describing him as little more than a powerhouse hunting for one big shot. He argued that Canelo's once razor-sharp technique has dulled, giving way to a slower, more static style with fewer punches and little setup. For Bentley, that shift could be the very opening Crawford needs to capitalize on when they finally meet in the ring.
Powerhouse. He's slow with his feet, throws less punches than we've seen before. He's always looking for a big shot. That hardly sets anything up anymore. It's just his whole style has just changed, and it's worked for him because a lot of fighters go in there with that fear factor, like, oh my days, it's Canelo. Or he will wear you down at some point because he's so physical and strong, or when he hits you, you kind of don't want to know because he hits so hard. But I don't think Crawford's going to go in with that mindset. I think whatever Canelo brings, he's going to be able to match. He's got better feet. Even though at 154 his feet didn't look the best, but Majimov is a good mover. But he's got better feet, he can fight both ways, and I think he will use more of his arsenal than what Canelo would use. So I think he would find it easier. So I think Crawford can beat him on point.
Agreeing with that sentiment, Tim Bradley didn't hold back when giving his pick, noting that if Canelo couldn't finish Charlo, it's hard to imagine him knocking out Crawford. For Bradley, the choice is simple. He'd back Bud Crawford to beat Canelo any day, confident that Crawford's style and sharpness will be too much for the Mexican star to handle.
Canelo couldn't knock out Charlo. Or you really think that he's going to knock out Crawford? I would pick Terence Crawford to beat a Canelo Alvarez, even at 168. Everybody can call me crazy and whatever you want to say. I get it. Y'all didn't believe me when I told you about Spence, but trust me, Crawford will figure out a way. I know a secret y'all don't know, and I ain't gonna tell you why I would pick Terence Crawford, but it's part of the secret.
On the flip side, Showbiz the Adult shared a different take, claiming the fight was decided the moment Crawford faced off with Canelo. He argued that Crawford's body language during the staredown said everything, that he realized Canelo was operating on a level he'd never faced before. For Showbiz, those subtle reactions suggested Crawford might already be a step behind mentally before the first punch is even thrown.
While the press conference was ending, I was already scripting this reaction video to talk about how His Excellency Turkey Al-Sheikh has won the press conference. Until the bitter end, the face-off, and not just the face-off, the end. Can you please look at the end when Terence Bud Crawford made this face?
Once in a lifetime, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Terence Bud Crawford, Arabia.
The fight is over. See, I've seen that face before. I saw that shit on Rocky 3 when Rocky Balboa was staring down Clubber Lane. Forget that. I saw that face when Rocky Balboa was in the pool and Apollo Creed said, "One more lap." Once in a lifetime, ladies and gentlemen. That face is called the holy shit face. He stared down Canelo, and for the first time, he saw someone as great as himself. For the first time, he saw a killer.
Echoing a more measured view, Edgar Berlanga offered a balanced breakdown, noting that in boxing, anything can happen once the bell rings. While he leaned slightly toward Canelo due to his natural size and weight advantage, Berlanga didn't dismiss Crawford's danger for a moment. He stressed that Crawford's technical skills are elite enough to challenge anyone, making this fight far from predictable and ensuring plenty of intrigue when they square off.
I truly believe, that, anything can happen in boxing, you know what I'm saying? And Terence Crawford is a legend. He's great. He's a great fighter. The only thing I see that favor Canelo is that is his weight.
Yeah.
And that he's more bigger. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing. But as far as skill set wise, IQ, I feel like Crawford can match anybody and probably do way better. You know what I'm saying? But Crawford is a legend, bro.
Yeah.
And like I said, you can't.
Furthermore, Bob Arum didn't hold back when assessing Alvarez's current approach to the sport. In his view, Canelo no longer fights with the same fire to thrill the crowd, instead prioritizing big money bouts above all else. For the veteran promoter, it's a clear sign that Canelo's priorities have shifted, and that could prove costly when he steps in against a hungry, motivated Crawford.
Canelo has shown in his last few fights that he's just a businessman. He's not in there to entertain the public. He just takes the big check. But again, if Canelo really fights, because I think it's safe to say Terence always fights. He doesn't know anything else. So then it could be a very good, interesting fight.
At the same time, Arum acknowledged Crawford's danger, warning that the fight's outcome depends on which version of Canelo shows up, the gladiator who once fought for legacy, or the money-chasing Canelo simply looking for his next payday.
What Canelo is going to show up? The Canelo who's looking to cash a big check, or the Canelo that really wants to fight like a fighter? Now, the Canelo we've seen the last 2 years is not only boring, but doesn't really have an incentive to mix it up and to entertain people with a good...
However, Crawford's coach, Brian "Bomac" McIntyre, quickly pushed back, stressing that styles make fights, and in his eyes, Crawford holds the clear edge. He argued that Bud brings sharper skills, a smarter style, and a stronger mindset into the ring. Confident in his fighter's preparation, Bomac went on record promising that Crawford will take care of business when the two finally meet under the lights.
Like I told the other guy, skills pays the bills. You gotta have skills, man, to be going up there to fight somebody like that, like a Canelo. And not only is it offense, you gotta have defense too. You know what I'm saying? So, styles makes fights. Bud got the better skills, and he got the better mind too.
Driving that point home, Crawford made it clear he isn't concerned with relying on raw power to hurt Canelo. For him, the true objective is to outbox him. He believes that as long as he stays sharp and sticks to the plan, the damage will come naturally. And if Canelo slips or makes a mistake, Crawford is confident he'll make him pay inside the ring.
You never fought at 168. You think you will have enough power to hurt the great Canelo?
Of course. I don't have to have enough power to hurt him. I just got to beat him. That's it. If he slip up, then, he will.
Although Canelo admitted he never imagined sharing the ring with Crawford, largely due to the significant weight difference that once made the matchup seem impossible, he reminded everyone that this is boxing, and in this sport, anything can happen. Now, with the fight locked in, Canelo says he's counting down the days and can't wait to step through the ropes for what promises to be a historic clash.
About the fight, Crawford, I never in my life, because he's a low weight than me. So, but I never thinking about it. But that's the fun part of boxing. You never know what is gonna happen, right? And now we are here. And I'm glad to share the ring with one of the best fighters out there, and I'm just can't wait.
In American and Spanish.
I'm gonna win.
Spanish first.
¿Ah?
In Spanish first.
Voy a ganar.
Voy a
ganar. Esa es la idea, ganar. That's the idea. Always in my mind doesn't exist a loss. I train, I put my best, I dedicate myself to this sport, and I'm just thinking about win to make history, and this is not the same.
As the countdown to September 13th continues, one thing is clear: this showdown between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez is shaping up to be more than just a fight. It's a collision of legacies, leaving no room for excuses when the final bell rings. If you enjoyed this breakdown, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe for more fight updates, and share your prediction in the comments below.